right, y'all. Hello. Welcome to another show of Politics or Politricks, you decide. With Brother Tula Cabone and Brother Justin Barnett.
Yes.
We are here today, and you know, we always say, if you hear the sound of our voice, God has blessed you to see another day.
Hello.
Prayers go up, blessings go down. Let's say amen.
Amen.
All right, we want to give shouts out to, as we always do, Brother R.J. Watkins and Brother Henry Tyler.
That's right.
R&B Hall of Famers from 2015.
Yes.
For having the mindset and the motivation.
That's right.
To start a radio station where African Americans can have their own opinion and speak our truth without worry about cancel culture. I said the right things. I understand that. Give a shout out to Miss Michelle and Miss Maxine as well, and everyone else that's affiliated with WHPR 88.1 FM family and 107.5 FM WGPR HD1, HD2, and HD3. I think I said that right. Okay,
you said that right. Hey, I want to give a shout out to the listeners.
2 and 3. Mr. Tyler got me together.
What did he say? 2 and 3.
2 and 3. HD.
Okay, 2 and 3. HD.
Go ahead.
Let's go, callers. We got how many more days we got to the summer, man?
I don't know. I ain't worried about that.
Because I know kids going back to school. Shout out to everybody who graduated. Shout out to my cousin that just graduated as well. Norfolk University.
Okay, shouts
out.
I
want to give a shout out to them. Some birthday Leos. We're gonna give a shout out to the Leos today as well. But we have some serious subjects to talk about. Talking to Tula, he's gonna get into more detail of what we discuss. But just in a nutshell, this is what we do. We named our show Politics or Politricks, you decide. For a reason. We are the pair of glasses that you put on. We are your reading glasses that you put on, and our job is to decipher the news and to put it out there, facts, and to put it out there so you can digest the news, and we want to separate, we want to filter out all the politics,
right,
and give you straight politics. So that's our mission statement.
That's it. I like that
for the show. So just hit the refresh button. You know, usually I just give a shout out to all the listeners, but I want to get a little bit more deep into this.
Okay.
Got some news about the government and what they're doing. And this is what the people voted for too. So we wanna get into detail. Tula,
okay,
talk to me, man.
Okay, so the phone number to call in is 313-365-7379, and that's 313-365-7379. So, and this is why I always say is the power of voting, right? And now people have what I call voters remorse. You know,
voters remorse. What's voters remorse?
Voters remorse is I hate I didn't vote. Right? Because now the consequences are catching up with us, and to all of those who advocated against voting, right, meaning don't vote, neither Democrat or Republican, or have your best interest, we finna have a conversation. And for all those who wanted to boycott against Kamala Harris because you don't like her for this reason or that reason, and you decide to vote for Donald Trump, well, I hope you like the cake you finna be served, right? I don't know if you're gonna like it, but we're finna see. So I was watching TV the other day, and coming to find out the Head Start is being cut.
Now, what channel did you see that? Was that CNN?
No,
I'm sorry.
it was on a local station, I think, Channel 4. I'm gonna have Mr. Tyler go ahead and play the video, and we're gonna have the discussion.
Oh, you just want to get in with the video now?
Straight to the video.
Awesome.
Because, you know, our people like to see receipts. You know,
that's
so
right.
We're going to have the receipts, and then we're going to go into the discussion. You know what I'm saying? For
yes,
real.
Sir.
Yeah.
A group of local parents speaking out tonight, trying to protect a federally funded program that's been helping hundreds of Detroit children and families with access to early childhood education.
The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services oversees Head Start, and earlier this year, Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. said the department will preserve that program. Damon Fernandez joining us with the details tonight. Damon, parents are telling you a Detroit nonprofit has been waiting months now for a final decision on its grant request.
Yeah, well, if the name Focus Hope sounds familiar to you, it should. It's one of the premier nonprofits operating in Metro Detroit. However, that agency, like many, relies on federal funding for a key program. It's been waiting since December for a decision on a Head Start grant application, and no formal decision means funding and that program are in limbo.
Focus Hope works. Head Start works.
It's a group of worried parents and community members.
It's not a school. I don't think consider it a school. It's like a family that teaches.
Gathering outside the Focus Hope Head Start campus on Oakman with concerns on Thursday.
It would be a disgrace not to be able to fund something they know is effective.
These families say they're worried about the status of the nonprofit's recent Head Start grant application and the potential domino effect should that federal funding not come through.
It's going to affect the parents. It's going to affect our community. It's going to affect the resources that we get. It's going to affect our programs.
Federal funding helps Focus Hope and its staff prepare children for kindergarten, helps families with daycare, job assistance, food, housing, and other resources.
I have called. I've left plenty of voicemails. I've texted cell phones.
Back in December, the agency and its longtime partners applied for Head Start grants separately, and still no decision from the government.
I've got every senator that I know, every congressperson I know calling the Office of Head Start to try to figure out why they haven't let us know this yet.
The nonprofit CEO, Portia Roberson, says her team's strategizing behind the scenes. She says 107 staff members could potentially be out of work if the federal funding doesn't come through. More than 350 families could be affected.
Please know that it is as heartbreaking for us as it is for you all, and it is uncertain for us as the way it is for you and your children.
And just to be clear, Focus Hope hasn't been told no. They've just been waiting 8 months for a decision, and they remain optimistic. Those parents told me they'll be doing more than just waiting and watching. They're also making calls to congressional lawmakers, urging them to step in and help. Back to you.
Well, they go to receipt. You know, as you see, they applied for it in December.
And they said they, and not to cut you off, but to add on to what you're saying, and then they also said that they haven't said no, but it's been 8 months.
So that's like you put an application in for a job. You normally get it's seasonal. You get a job and you get the grant, but they got you waiting 8 months. Why would you wait so long to give Head Start a grant when you know they got to prepare for it? So, and this is the consequence of not voting.
And this is also the consequence of who you vote for too, as well. So you looking at this. The only good thing that I take from this now new administration that we have hired through the Trump administration, also in regards to the Republicans as well, you're gonna see this. That's the only thing that I honestly, as we name our show Politics or Politricks, you decide. This is one of the things that I can agree with, you know, speaking on myself as my opinion, that this will be an eye-opener.
Well,
if anything, do you agree with that?
I agree with this, but it was never an eye-opener for us. And the reason being that we forewarn people. We were.
As for black people, okay.
Okay, in general, let's look at this from in general.
Okay,
because
as a people.
Head Start don't only affect black children; it affects all children, right?
Right.
But it affects us more because we have the poorest population in the United States.
So right? This will be an eye opener for it's bottom line going to be an eye opener when it comes down to politics. When you start taking away programs.
And so it is an eye opener for those didn't believe it was real, meaning racism or the counseling or Project 2025 wasn't real, right? You listen to the psychological voodoo people subjected you to, gave you all this mumbo jumbo about why you shouldn't vote Democrat, why you shouldn't vote for Kamala Harris, why you should vote for Trump. Trump is best for the country, and including those black Republicans They did not get one seat on the cabinet.
And see, people don't know that when it comes down to the Democrats, a lot of these programs come from the Democrats as well.
And
so when you not Democrat, then where do you think these programs are going to go? They're going to go down the drain. And this is a perfect example. And I'm standing firm with this as far as the eye opener is concerned. When people will know, I know people that normally would not vote or would not even talk politics. I know some people say, I ain't talking politics. I bet you when they cut that Head Start off, I bet you that conversation will arise.
I think that's true too. And this is why we have to be more civically engaged in our community, right? We have to stop falling for the banana in the tailpipe. One, that encourage, and I'm going to say it, the working poor, marginalized poor, and very poor not to vote or not to pay attention, when it's us that's affected the most with Head Start. So now you didn't listen. You listened to the black people who hated Kamala Harris. Listen, we ain't going to always pick the perfect mate.
And let me jump in. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just want to add this, Justin. I got you, family.
Go ahead.
We're never going to get the perfect party that's going to answer everything for African Americans. We got to get out of that mindset. America ain't structured that way. So now we got to pick the lesser of the two evils, right? And for us as a history, the Democratic Party done more for the interests of African Americans than the Republican Party. Now I know you get some Republicans, they want to refer to Lincoln. Well, Lincoln, he wasn't your type of Republican though. Lincoln was a different type of Republican that reflects the concept of the Democratic Party today. You Republicans now, come on. So we got to understand, for those who don't want to vote, who want to sit on the sideline and say, it affects you now.
But let's get more to, I agree. Let's get specific about that last statement that you said as far as the Democratic is helping, that helped out the most. Absolutely. As far as the African American community. Let's break down some points, and also let's bring up some points as well, how the Democratic Party is helping humans, people, period, in general as well. One of the things that I could say is that you're seeing right on the news is Head Start. And Head Start is I know I had Head Start in church. It's just what the title is called, Head Start.
Well, I remember going to Head Start, man. It introduced children into the academic environment. It gets us used to it. It get us used to being around being around friends, people we know, and we get to custom of going to school.
Social skills.
Right. It definitely, well, thank you. Justin got me. So give us social skills. So absent that, if the parent, unfortunately, and I say this with respect, if the parent isn't educated enough as a teacher is to teach the child, that's a problem.
Yeah, and they might even not even that, but might just be busy with their 9 to 5 or
absolutely,
maybe having a night shift or something like that. I don't know.
Well, they said that Head Start help also with parents that could drop their child off and go to work because they're new parents. Head Start is for children that's just starting out. Well, hopefully, when your child is just starting out, one of the parents or somebody's working. They pick the child up and feed the child, so it helped out in that way. But to really just shoot it in the foot and not educate, well, this is my solution. Just said, what's the solution? Solution is simple. We'll do what we did in slave days. We'll start teaching at home.
I like what you said, but the slave days comment, Tula, no, we ain't going back to them slave days.
We ain't going back,
brother. So
not literally, but borrowing from the concept of what they did. When the government didn't give them something, we found a way to make it happen. In fact, we was more focused on education. I hate to say it, when they denied us the opportunity to get education, then the opportunity we got to go get education. Right? So I'm saying, let's open all these 4,000 churches up. You don't want to give us Head Start? Okay, we can ask for donations in the church to put forth and help educate our children in our community.
Well, you know what?
Period.
Yeah, I agree, and that's one of the first head starts. You know, obviously, I've been through is a shout out to Hartford Memorial Baptist Church.
Let me ask you this, Justin: is Sunday school the first head start for us? Because we start out young going to Sunday school. You know, I remember saying Jesus wept. That's all I knew to say when it was my time to say something in church.
You know, that's a good question. I believe Sunday school.
Because you start at 2 and 3, you going to Sunday school.
Oh, that is a good question. Is Sunday school the first head start?
Right. Sunday school the first head start.
That's a good one. That's a good one because you're in the school structure.
Right, absolutely. Then summer, then you have what that.
You're talking about the church.
Right, the church. You had some vacation Bible school during the summer.
It's somewhat of it, but Head Start was more built on the school setting.
I agree with you.
Yeah, that's a good one though. That's a good one.
I'm saying, do it start preparing you? I know it's a spiritual structure. Let's get that.
But I gotta look back as me as a little kid. I'm like,
saying,
what did I go through first?
My mom
Sunday school.
My mom used to make. Hey, Justin, my church, you had to get up there at 2 and 3. You better say praise the Lord or something. They call your name. And I remember I used to sit up there. Jesus, what my mom said? Don't you get up there and say that this Sunday. You better read a verse. You know what I'm saying?
I said, Mama, I ain't got no socks to go to church.
Oh, they ain't work. You know that ain't work. You had to
I ain't got no dress socks.
You better put your shoes on. We're figuring out today. And we just joking, but this is how it was. But I'm serious though. When we went to Sunday school in some cases is the first introduction to some type of structural environment, even though it was a spiritual environment for us to get used to going through a school curriculum. Head Start came in, and as Justin said, taught us the educational aspect of it. 4 and 5 years old, that is great, man.
Now, Head Start, when did that start, actually? Was that in the 70s?
I don't know.
Or the 80s?
We'll look that up.
Okay.
We'll look Head Start
We'll
up.
get that information for you.
Oh, we got a caller. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller. Hello? They hung up. Well, you call back, caller, you hung up. But I just want to put that out there because me and Justin always said lack of voting have big consequences. And what really burned my skin, Justin, not literally, well, I don't want to say literally, but what burned my skin was the fact that when we was telling people to vote, you had black people on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok that was telling people not to vote Democrat. And as you said it so well, the Democratic Party has benefited black people way more than a Republican. Voters' Rights Act, Civil Rights Act, right? The war on poverty, food stamps, I go on and on, housing discrimination, affirmative action. All that stuff came from the Democrats. What the Trump administration is doing is pulling the war back on all that. They don't want that. DEI 2000, diversity, equity, inclusion, new name for affirmative action, right? Even though white women benefit from affirmative action more and DEI than black people did. Black people did in general. But the point is the program was set forth under the Democratic banner. Now, I want y'all just to imagine this. What if there was never a Democratic president or administration under a Republican regime? How far do y'all really think we would have got? Look at the Republican regime now, not under Lincoln, the modern day public regime, right? How far or how advanced do you feel African Americans would have got in general? We wouldn't have got that far, period. So,
yeah, it's just a transition of, okay, you want to take away all the benefits, you want to take away this, go ahead, take it away. You got a lot of people standing outside with no benefits. Then, okay, now you're not affected. I'm just using this as an example. Now you want to go to the grocery store. And me and Tula always joke about it. Now you want to go into the grocery store. And then you got a community standing out there with that's usually normally used to getting their food stamps. Now they standing outside and you walking inside trying to get some food. So we do joke about that. I say, hey, you might have to get some protection or something, to go up in there. And I'm serious about it.
I'm gonna say this, and I got the statistic here. Justin asked me, so I want to read this statistic of who get more food stamps, and this is it. And I want y'all to hear this. In 2020, white individuals represented a large proportion of SNAP, food stamps, recipients overall. 44.6% of adults, 31.5% of children. Then black individuals, 27% of both adults and children. So let me be clear. It ain't gonna just be black people shoplifting for food. Let's clear the air on that. You know what I'm saying? Because there's more white people that get snapped. And that's why I always tell some of my white friends, why do y'all vote against your own interests?
And I'm looking at this now that people are separated from their benefits. This is the first start with Head Start. You're going to have a lot of people just standing outside without benefits. So, you know, that's going to boost up the crime, and you're just going to have to protect yourself. And we joke about it a lot, but I'm just being serious.
Yeah,
until you burn your hand on the stove, and that's just really, really what it's going to take. I know one good thing about hiring Trump is people going to wake up. People going to see. People going to see the algorithm. People going to see the Politricks.
Right, that's right.
As we say. And I'm just sitting back, man, eating popcorn.
That's fact. All right, y'all, we're going to go to the next video. Another truth teller. Let's get it. Y'all know we like showing receipts. Here we go to the next video.
Say hello to new daddy, Senator Darren Camilleri, but he's also the father in the legislature of the 2-year-old free school lunch and breakfast program, and he's very proud of it. But he's also worried that the food may disappear as part of the budget-cutting effort by President Trump and Elon Musk, who want to eliminate the U.S. Department of Education, which funnels money to the states. So is the meal program that serves 477,000 kids in Michigan each morning and 867,000 for lunch, is that program in possible jeopardy?
But now we don't have any details of what they're going to cut in addition to the 4,000 employees that they're attempting to lay off. But right now it is creating a level of uncertainty that is very scary for our families and our educators who just don't know what to expect coming out of Washington, D.C.
Would you say there's a 50-50 chance that you're going to lose the federal funding?
I don't want to put a number on it because every day the story changes out of D.C.
The governor has included the free meals in her new budget, now being discussed by lawmakers. So is there enough money in the state budget to pick up the slack if the feds bail out?
We do have a budget surplus. But if we were to only use the budget surplus on the school meals program, then we can't include increases to anything else.
That could mean wiping out increases for school transportation, reducing or not increasing the per pupil state support, and school safety spending and mental health services could be on the list of cuts as well. Right now, with no hard facts to go on, the senator can rely on only one thing: hope.
I'm hopeful that we'll be able to still cobble together the funding needed.
We'll see if the hopes are fulfilled. In Lansing, Tim Skubick, Fox 2 News.
All right, y'all. So now y'all see another part of the big Trump administration is to cut free food.
And I was just saying, like, as much as I don't like this, I like it because people are going to wake up. This is a wake up call. Once you on that assistance and they cut it off, you're gonna be looking at who's the 47th president, who's the 30th president. You're gonna do your research, and I guarantee people just can't see it until them programs cut off.
Well, and they already talking about cutting the free lunch. You know, I
don't like it, but
I showed that. Because I'm a recipient of free lunch. I was a recipient of free breakfast in the morning time. And trust me, not that we grew up, and I explain to people I grew up poor, which I'm not ashamed of. And it wasn't a lack of effort of my mom and dad being lazy and not working. They did that. But it was just they got a system or they got a structure called a working poor. That's what we were, right? So when I went to school in the morning time, I used to love them strawberry muffins with that oatmeal. You know, that got me started. I was focused on school. Then we had lunch. You know, I was happy that I had a free lunch. Absent that, we would have been starving. When a child is hungry and they're trying to learn, they can't get a meal, and it's no fault of the parents. because the parents doing the best they can. That's a problem. We got a caller, y'all. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, Tula. Hey, Justin. This
Hello.
is Amanda.
Yes.
I just heard you speak about, that they're taking away the free lunch, and that is horrible. I mean, that, I know all of this other, Head Start is terrible too, but the free lunches especially, okay, maybe, I don't even think it's okay to take it away anywhere, but in cities like Detroit, even Macomb County has a lot of cities, Warren, Hazel Park, where a lot more than less of the kids accept free lunches. And it's terrible and it's very sad, and I can't even believe I thought that because we were a Democratic state, Governor Whitmer, whatever, that it wasn't going to hit our state as bad, but this is really making me sickened. And I have only reached out to the government on a few different occasions, but this for sure needs to be addressed. And I think that everyone listening, and who can say the most, whatever anybody can say, maybe you guys can direct your listeners as to how to do it. But I really think that we need to, come together, obviously for a lot of things, but this most definitely because it's harming our kids at this point. And we need to do the best we can to look out for them. So they are living at our age in a way worse place than we are because it's headed that way. And we have to do everything we can to make that not happen for them. But okay, great show, guys. I'm always listening. All right, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let me say this. The federal government cuts to what we're dealing with, Head Start and the free lunch, came from the big bag Doge and the Trump administration. So that was federal. And what Governor Whitmore is trying to do is they got a bill pending in Lansing. She implemented the free lunch in the bill, and she's trying to get them to pass it. Now, whether the Republicans decide to do it is a whole different thing. But in the process, they were saying, as it was on the video, they may have to cut mental health to children. I hate that. They may have to cut safety to children. I hate that, right? And this is what I mean, unless they have consequences. But you can give billionaires tax cuts and take from the least of us.
This is our wake-up call.
Right.
This is who we voted for, and look at all the stuff that we got. Right. Billionaires out there. We got the mint that prints money. And these are the things that the big, beautiful bill wants to cut. It's starting off with our children right there.
That's hard.
And it's just the only good thing that I can get out of this is a wake-up call. This will be the time that eyes will be open. The title Politics and Politricks reign supreme it's going to even blow up. This title going to even get more stronger. I think it's more people that's going to say politics or Politricks.
Right.
And this is a wake up call right here. Man.
And I just want to say, you have to be civically engaged in order to avoid these type of consequences. And this is why I kind of blame the politicians as well, some, who aren't implementing civic education in schools or in programs or in gymnasiums or in church or in homeless shelters or in senior citizen buildings, right? We should be going to these places, educating homeless people about voting, right? There's a large population of homeless people that should be voting for the Democratic ticket because the Democrats take care of them. Or we see people on the street, or we see people that's poverty stricken, or we see young black men who's disengaged from the political system because they feel like the people they have elected turn their back on what their agenda was supposed to be for them, right? But guess what, young brothers? Y'all got children. Let's have a conversation, family. You have children. And when it's time for your child to be educated and help a starter, ain't none. When they go to school and they ain't got no free lunch, and you limit it if you get snapped, because the big ugly bill talking about taking that, you got to figure out how to feed them now. Because a hungry stomach ain't never focused. Period.
When they do that, it's going to be a whole bunch of people that's going to snap in. That's why I do like about this election. It is a wake up call, whether you like it or not.
And
when you on the food stamps and they cut that off, or you on this Head Start, they cutting it off for the kids. This will be the medicine. This will be it where people will wake up. They ain't going to hear it. I mean, this election was very particular. We had to pick the lesser of both evils. This is my opinion. I'm going hard today. It's lesser of both evils. I think the communication is different. We have YouTube. We have TikTok.
Facts.
We have a president that utilizes YouTube and TikTok. So you're getting a different form of communication.
Facts.
I know Trump says a lot of outlandish stuff, which actually attracts a lot of people. And just, that old school politician, the moves, those are good and some are not. And then you just have to, this is a wake up call. You got Trump out there. You got the Trump shoes. He got the Trump coin. He got merch out here.
You got Trump tie.
And these things are attractive to the people because we're already set up. I mean, you wake up in the morning, first thing you do, you look at your phone. You might look at YouTube, email. You're all in the social media through your phone. It's just people are moving different. So,
but at the same time, we have to be a forecast of consequences. Right. And we have
to be a forecast more of consequences because we've been doing this so long, Tula. It is time to look at the glass half full. And if you disagree with me,
I don't think we should.
Then you can disagree with me, but we're already moving as far as that glass half full. I have so many people that tell me that you have to identify the problem to get to the solution, which I agree. And I also have a people that stick to the problem and don't have any solution.
I agree with that.
And we've been identifying problems, and so that's why I say I get so.
But I think, Justin, if let's look at it like
that's
this.
why I say I get so excited with this with this administrative now, just on the eye opener for the other people to see the politics.
I think we have been talking about the problem, family, but we have to encourage people to get engaged because let's be honest, we have a lot, and I'm gonna say it unapologetic. We have had a lot of our own black politicians who come out here and garnish the hope of the people when people put their power behind them, but they never address the issues that particularly affects African American. But let me say this, when you get somebody else that's non-African American, right, they address issues that affect their people unapologetically, right? And so now when you come up, you African American again, they feel like you just selling them a pot with no greens in it. You know what I'm saying?
Same story, man.
But
same story.
Same
go
story.
ahead.
Same story, but it's real.
It's real.
It's real. So what we have to do,
it's not the solution.
I agree with you. So what
a lot of stuff is real.
But
I mean, we can talk real.
But I'm saying on this show, what we try to do is show receipts and encourage you why you should vote. Why you got to get away from that stigma that all black politicians are the same. And you have to hold your nose sometimes to vote for people you don't want to vote for because they're not going to strip you of what you have now until you can do better for self, right? Like if we'd have had Kamala Harris in there, we would have Head Start. We would have free lunches, right? We wouldn't have the Confederate monuments being restored, which you're going to talk about today. So I'm just want to add that. All right, y'all. We finna go to the next video.
And I wanted to say this real quick before we go to the next video. As far as that statement is concerned,
go ahead.
Like I said, we need to focus on the glass half full this time. So I would like to focus on this next election that's going to be coming up. I think it's about 1.5 years now. When we vote for the House and Senate.
Well, what about we're talking about
the majority,
right?
Majority, of course. That's coming up in November, where that's definitely it's going to be important. I mean, like one of these, just like you talked about with Whitmer, with the free lunch. This is the people that we hire, that we have the power to get to the Washington, D.C., to the federal part by just voting
That's it.
on who we want to vote for
Absolutely.
locally. We can start with the mayor.
That's right.
And then that will be voices that can speak to other voices in higher places.
That's facts.
Tula, let's go.
Let's
what
get
you got for us?
We got the next video. Watch this, y'all.
Uh-oh.
Yep. You're going to be working in
Brooke Rollins, Donald Trump's Secretary of Agriculture, suggested this week that terminally ill people on Medicaid should go work on the farms to replace the deported workers so that they don't lose their Medicaid coverage as the One Big Beautiful Bill calls for. During an interview with Fox Business host Stuart Varney this week, Stuart kind of seemed a little taken aback by the fact that she had suggested this actually a few days ago, so he wanted to give her the opportunity, which she did not deserve, to walk those comments back. To clarify the horrible thing she said. So Stuart Varney asks her, quote, "You've suggested that Medicaid people, if they got a work requirement under the new rules, they should go work on farms. Are you sticking with that?" Like, he's given her the opportunity. Like, do you want to say that you misspoke? Do you want to not be a horrible, stupid, and heartless person? And Brooke Rollins says, here's the deal. When in America did we lose the concept of the dignity of work? So, yeah. Here's the thing. Rollins is, of course, trying to pretend, as Republicans do, that most people on Medicaid are just able-bodied people sitting at home getting free health care because they're not working. They ignore the fact that those people who are getting free health care still have to pay rent and buy food, which Medicaid doesn't cover. So these people are, starving to death, living on the streets, but they're getting free health care. So, that's not a thing. In fact, nearly every working age, non-disabled, childless adult on Medicaid, the only people to whom the work requirements will apply, already have jobs. And those who do not are living in extreme poverty conditions where they may be unhoused. So this myth of the lazy Medicaid recipient not working is exactly that, a myth. You're more likely to find a unicorn than you are this person that Republicans say is sucking up all the damn Medicaid money.
Okay, there you go.
I like that.
So there's the receipts. So what they want to do is take out all the people they call migrants. And when the big ugly bill come in, if you want to get Medicaid, they want you to work on the farms.
Now hold up.
Yeah.
Say that again, sir.
So and you seen the receipt when they put in the big ugly bill, and they getting rid of all the migrants.
Right?
Because the farms ain't working. Not the Homeland Security, ISIS, they going to raid the farms now. The migrants say we ain't even showing up. We good on that.
So let me get the step-by-step project.
So
progress. They're going to get rid of the migrants first.
And they're going to come to people that's on Medicaid and say, we're going to send you over to Howard, Michigan and work in the field for your Medicaid.
Work in the field? Now, what's up with the work in the field, man?
That's part. Listen, one thing about a mindset that has a racist concept, they have no empathy toward pimping poor people to do things they don't want to pay for. Right? There is no way in the right state of mind what I think about going to somebody on Medicaid, telling them they got to work in the field in Mr. Johnson. That's almost like the barter system they did during slavery when they told black people, oh, you don't want to work? Well, we're going to arrest you and rent you back out to the slave owners. So now they done replaced that with Medicaid.
That's not going to happen.
And what I said Monday, just to say, listen, I said, well, black people going to say, oh, no, I ain't doing that. And they going to go get their cousin. We ain't going to say Pooh Shiesty. We're going to say John James. We're going to say go get their cousin, John Brown, who's working, got Medicaid or got what's it called, a progressive insurance. And they going to get a fake ID and go down there and get treated. You know what I'm saying? Because black people ain't going to the field.
And we at these days
I just want to be very clear.
Right, yeah.
We are not going to reinstate slavery through Medicaid because that's what it's doing. You're reinstating slavery through Medicaid.
Anything with the word field,
Field and
if
free.
if it ain't Southfield,
right?
We ain't going. You know what I'm
and
saying?
for those who may be listening later on, and because this is a broadcasting network, Southfield is a city in Michigan, right? So Justin's saying, if it ain't saying Southfield, the city, we ain't doing. And I don't even know why Brooke. Why does she even think that's a thing? Like, you really think that people are gonna go work for Medicaid at a field for a farmer?
Ain't nobody trying to go to field. If they put that bit, they ain't
doing it for the money.
We ain't even going to Ford Field. Shout out to Ford Field. We ain't going nothing with the word field in there. If they pass that.
But I had to play this, because when I tell people this, they're like, nah, man, that ain't true. But now you see it. And guess
that's
what?
Politricks right there.
And guess what? It is in the big, beautiful, ugly bill they just passed, and it will come in effect 2027.
And the big, beautiful bill,
and I'm just telling people this now,
is an oxymoron, by the way.
Absolutely. It is an oxymoron. It's stupid. But I'm saying to people, we should have voted. Again, like Justice say, I don't like what's going on, but it will wake you up to your civic duty.
You know, I got some.
They done took Head Start, they done took free lunches, and now they telling you, particularly people who need foods, that need Medicaid, which he already stated. The brother said, he said it on the video, that, and you got people that's at Walmart that's working already. They get food, they get Medicaid and food stamps. They make, with the Waltons was worth, in 2016, they was worth $152 billion. They're worth way more than that now.
Family owns Walmart.
Right, saying you can't pay people enough money to get off food stamps and Medicaid. They pimping the system themselves. Corporate pimping, that's what it boils down to. But they're telling us, and as the guy said, the people who are getting Medicaid, they aren't sitting at home, as the Republicans like to say, or they're sitting on grandma's couch playing video. No, they're not. That is a false myth and a fake cliche that they came up with, right? In order to put the boogeyman concept in people's mind, that, and really they want to say black. Let's be honest about that. Put it in your mindset, oh, they should cut Medicaid. There's a whole bunch of young people. That's not true at all. That's not true. And the people that's getting Medicaid, that's poor, most of them are homeless.
Yeah, so we have to focus on now that, for the people that say, well, it's not going to affect me, then we should just have a conversation about this personal protection. I think that would be good, because you're going to have a lot of people that's just going to be outside. So let's just focus on those people that's going to be outside. You probably didn't see them going to the grocery store or walking to the gas station or driving to the gas station or whatever. But when you start seeing these bills getting cut off, you'll see. You'll know.
All right, y'all. We're gonna go to the next video. This is by your Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, and the Confederate, raising the Confederate monuments again. I want y'all to see this.
And taking down some of the black monuments.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is
let's
popcorn.
Popcorn.
Mr. Secretary, I'm somewhat puzzled. I grew up in Virginia, where Robert E. Lee was revered. I think when I was a kid, his birthday was a school holiday. But as I grew older and learned more about American history, I learned that he fit the classic definition of a traitor. He took up arms against his country. He broke his oath as a member of the United States Army, which he took upon entering his career at West Point. Why are you going through these incredible gymnastics, finding current soldiers or other soldiers to rename? And you slipped a minute ago. You said we're returning these bases to their original names. Robert E. Lee, leading general of the Confederacy, Pickett, the other names. Why are you doing this? I don't understand what the motivation is to rename bases for people who took up arms against their country on behalf of slavery. What possible motivation can there be for this? Who is telling you to do this? Who is urging you to do this?
Senator, the veterans and service members across the country who have deployed from Fort Bragg or Fort Benning or Fort Hood or Fort Pickett, there's a legacy, there's a connection to those bases and to those places, to what they trained for there, what they did for, and what they came home back to. That matters to them. Ask enough of them, as I do, all the time, before and later. And we recognize the service of those who were put into the replacement. No one's disputing that. I would never dispute that. What we're looking at is erasing history, erasing names, erasing base names that service members are tied to. Talk to people that serve at Bragg. Ask people that serve at Fort Bragg or Fort Benning if they like the fact that the names have been returned. And to a man and to a woman, they will tell you, thank God we're back to Fort Bragg, and thank God we're back. And thankfully, because so many men and women in this country have served, there's a Benning and a Bragg and a Pickett and a Hood has a Silver Star or a Medal of Honor that we could rename the base to because of the limits of what Congress allowed us to do. So this is something we've been proud to do, something that's important for the morale of the Army, and those communities appreciate that we've returned it back to what it was instead of trying to play this game of erasing names.
We're not erasing history, Mr. Secretary. We're recognizing history and recognizing that mistakes have been made in this country. The greatest of all was the Civil War, where people took up arms against their country on behalf of the institution of slavery. And to continue the practice of recognizing those people and honoring them by the naming of these bases is, I believe, an insult to the people of the United States.
All right, y'all. So I want y'all to hear this. So I want to give a little small why black people feel repulsed by the Confederate soldiers. December the 25th, 1865, in Pulaski, Tennessee, the Ku Klux Klan was started by ex-Confederate soldiers who felt that black people have too much power and too much rights. Listen, December the 24th, 1865, the Ku Klux Klan was started in Pulaski, Tennessee, ex-Confederate soldiers. The Ku Klux Klan has terrorized black people throughout history, and they still exist to this day. You want us to somehow have sympathy towards a concept of people that fought against us being free, the Confederate soldiers, and you want us to embrace that? As if we don't exist and we don't matter. You tired of history being erased. You would never tell a Nazi or tell a Jewish person they should show a monument of a Nazi, and they should respect that. Our disrespect is the same way. The same way. So how dare you disrespect black people and not give us the same respect that you give our Jewish brothers and sisters. You don't have the courage to do that. You wouldn't put Hitler Air Force Base, but you want us to respect that. Then you're gonna name off white people who was Confederate soldiers that owned my ancestors. You got black people with their last names. So that's nothing proud for us. You re-victimizing us with that garbage that y'all be coming with. So say what you are, family. You don't like black people. There's no reason to revisit that part of history. You didn't revisit the history when they say you were cheating on your wife. You won't even talk about it. You had them sign a non-disclosure agreement, but you want to talk about victimizing black people. No, I'm not standing for that. And that's why we have programs like this. We're going to speak up for the dead. Nobody, you know what the Ku Klux Klan did to us? Don't act like you don't know. Burn whole towns down. Rosewood, Ocoya, right? They list my people. And you want us to embrace the Confederate. Well, I think that, who did you talk to? You couldn't have talked to no black people. And if you did, something's wrong with them. So now when black people walk through these Air Force and Army bases and they see the name of Confederate soldiers, do you really think they want to salute that nonsense? That's equivalent to ask a Jew to salute a Nazi soldier. You would never do that. So I'm saying this to the Democratic Party now. these white so-called progressive Democrats, stand up. Stand up and start speaking up for black people. And if you're not white and you're not black and you affiliate with that Democratic Party, you need to start speaking up. Because guess what? If we was Jewish, all y'all would be saying something. You'll be denouncing it. This is why black people feel disillusioned about the Democratic Party. Because when it comes to us being insulted, you play us like we redhead stepchildren.
I want to jump in and say, too, as far as what you said about if it was Hitler, then yeah, I don't agree. I don't agree with people backing that up, bro. I just, like I said, the only good thing, looking at the glass half full, this is a wake-up call.
Facts.
This will be wake-up. And now, as far as the solution is concerned, that's why we got the majority race up here. We have an outlet. We have an outlet to talk straight to Trump. We have an outlet to talk straight to the House and the Senate. We have an outlet to go straight to D.C., and that's talking to our local people.
Absolutely.
Here. That's what we need to do.
Absolutely.
Talk to our local people here. It's
Absolutely.
been so many years we've been talking about these problems.
Absolutely.
It's black people and flying cars and AIs.
Right.
So that's why I always bring it up.
That's
I'm just riding this wave. I want to see what people do.
But what Justin said it correctly, though. We have to start putting people in power to vote. That's going to address black people. Justin right. AI and flying cars to pass us up, and we still talking about the same thing 200 or 300 years later.
But me and you, we're active. We practicing what we're preaching.
Me and Justin actually are. But I'm saying for those we put in position of power that's not acting in our best interest, you heard what Justin said. What's the solution? Vote them out. I don't care if they in there one time. I am so frustrated and upset at what the Black Caucus did in California. September the 4th, 2024, when they did not pass that bill for reparations for Californians to get the reparation bill. One thing Trump administration to teach black people, that when you get in power, you better use it to maximize what is in your best interest. Because guess what? The Republicans is running roughshod over they don't even care about the Constitution. Hey, they don't care nothing about that. They start going to Supreme Court, which is Supreme Court put together for Trump, best interests. And they'll do something and say, well, file a lawsuit. Us, we sang the blues, talk about hairstyle and tennis shoes. I can't do that. I don't want to. They're going to be upset if I pass reparation. Stop. You don't tell the Jewish people that. You didn't tell the Native Americans that. You don't tell the Japanese Americans that. You didn't tell the Hawaiians that. So why are you doing this to black people? I'm going to tell you something. And I told Justin this. All the black elites and black bourgeoisie, you might not think you need them field Negroes. But one thing the Trump administration finna teach you, you definitely going to be coming to see us. Because guess what? They don't operate on money. They don't operate on power. They have one concept that they don't like, and that's your skin color. And when they operate on racism like that, you don't even matter, family. They don't care about your title, your money, who you are. None of that. You think I'm lying? Why didn't Tim Scott get appointed? Why didn't Brian Donalds get appointed? Why didn't John Gaines get appointed? All these black people that were sitting around there talking about vote for Trump, black Republicans, and not one of them got appointed to his cabinet. He got one black guy on his cabinet, and he's on HUD, which the other black guy was on HUD last time he was in administration. Ben Carson was on HUD. And the black guy that's on HUD got a black wife trying to kill everything for her. I seen the hearing. Mm-hmm. So we got to wake up and realize, and we got to start holding these so-called Democrats that's not African American. We got to start holding them accountable for us. For us, we always rallying your cry. You better start rallying ours. And if you don't, move and get out the way. We're going to vote y'all out the way too. Period.
Mm-hmm. Right. And I agree with what you're saying, man. this is just a wake up call for us. This is just a wake up call for us. I think we might, for the people, we might go ahead and purchase you one of them robots that they're going to be selling out there. Get the robot, bring the robot to the house. The robot can cook and cut the grass.
We can't even afford the parts.
Can you go ahead and get you one of them robots?
We can't even
go down there. The robot go to Save a Lot, pick up the food.
Hey, you know how we
bring it back. I'm going to start talking like that because people got to wake up.
Just you know how we are. We been took a bicycle and a goat car and built a robot.
I'm in the future like I should be.
You know how we are. Because we can't afford it. But one thing we got to stop doing, and I say this as two things we got to stop doing as a people. We got to stop letting people rush our history, and we got to start holding people accountable that's in the so-called Democratic Party. And one thing Fannie Lou Hamer did, particularly in the 60s and the 70s, black people stood firm on that. Fannie Lou Hamer stood firm on that when she spoke at the Democratic Convention, I think, 1964. She criticized them for not recognizing African Americans' rights. And there's no reason, in my opinion, that anybody that's affiliated with the Democratic Party should be ringing a loud bell and criticizing the Republican Party for resurrecting Confederate monuments, taking the Black Smithsonian out, now Trump is going to, let me tell you, he's going into the Smithsonian, just sent him a letter. And he said that he wants to write history in a way that and I'm paraphrasing, beautifies America. He don't want to tell these woke theories or sit in a way, talk about slavery, he don't want to talk about none of that. He want to talk about the glorious part of America, a revisionary history, which anybody know anything about the movie The Birth of a Nation by J.W. Griff that was written in 1915 or done 1915, was the rebirth of the Klan. They did a revisionary history of them defeating the North and letting the Klan take over the South. So what Trump is trying to do, coming up on the 250th anniversary of America, he's telling the Smithsonian, hey, you got to take that. Black people? Oh no, you got to take some of them out. We can't have that. You trying to brainwash us about what happened to us? How dare you?
That's right.
How dare you? We still suffer from post-traumatic slave disorder. I said it. Yeah, post-traumatic slave disorder. Right. You mad at black men? You made these black men. When you killed black leaders, when you took black men in the 80s and you gave them the estimated amount of time for crack cocaine, taking them out to home and their families.
And I like to use this example just as a baker that bakes. And he makes a loaf of bread, and I'm going to use this as an example. And that baker puts that fingerprint in that loaf of bread. That fingerprint is going to go to every slice in that loaf of bread. And that every slice that I'm talking about is generations. That's all I want to say.
Well, Justin ended it. Just ended it on the fly. I like that. Don't get him started. But that's true. Hey, y'all, the show is over. We appreciate y'all paying attention. I think we had an extraordinary show today.
We had an excellent show.
Actually, great show.
Some fire. You brought in some fire today,
I appreciate it. And I want to just say this before we go. This is why I love this radio station, because we're able to talk this way. You're not going to find another radio station in Detroit or in Michigan. I say this unequivocally, that is going to have the kind of talk we have on this show. So we encourage people to encourage other people to listen to our show. At some point, we're going to be asked for donations for this show. We're going to be asking for people to start running commercials to support this radio station. Because guess what? You're going to need this radio station, because Trump is talking about canceling other radio stations. He took NPR. That's gone. Ain't no more of that. So if you want to advertise, come here. Come to this station. All right, y'all. I'll see you, God's will. I'll see you Monday on Real Talk with Tula Cabone at 5:00. And y'all know what we say. Power to the people, power to the people, power to the people.
That's right.